How to discipline your child without flogging, beating, and yelling. My name is Wendy Logan, and I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. Most times, when we share on this particular topic, you hear parents say, "It's not possible. Oh, they beat us and we didn't die. Oh, we're doing so well. That's what made me look so good," and all of that. I get it. When you're used to something, of course, you are never going to see the other side of it. The question I always ask my clients is, what if I show you a way that can help you discipline your child without you having to scream and yell? Would you agree to try it? Yes. How can you do that? Number one thing that you can do is to build trust and also create a system of authority. Now, authority is not built on force and control. Authority is built on trust and respect. If your child can't trust you, they can't respect you, you have lost authority over your child. It looks like you have authority, but you're fighting. The moment you have to instill authority by force, there's something lost, something I call the instructional order. And many of the times, you find that this is lost in many homes. So, yes, you can create that trust system. I have a book called Connect to Correct. The first thing you want to do in building this system is to connect first before you can correct. Have you ever wondered? When there's a problem in a system, you always hear somebody say, "Who is the person they listen to?" Because people only really listen to people who are connected to them. So connect with them. Number two, create structures. When there are no structures in place, you find out that there's a lot of chaos in place. Most families are chaotic today because there are no structures. So you do not know any other way to do the things that you're used to doing because that's all you know. Now, people say, "Oh, but when I don't hear, my children don't hear." No, the problem is that you have programmed them to only listen to you when you yell, when you're training a horse. It's been said that when you train a horse to actually scream, right, for you to scream at them to listen to you, that's the only way the horse will listen to you. If you talk to them subtly or in a low tone, they're never going to listen to you because that's what you have trained them with. If you train a horse with a low tone and you scream at the horse is never going to listen to you. What does that tell you? Programming. Many of us have programmed our children to actually only listen when we raise our voice. We're telling them that the only way we can actually, build an authority system is by forcing and by raising our voices. So they look at you. When you talk with a low tone, they feel, mommy is not serious. Oh, daddy is not here yet until you scream. So you've trained your children to only listen to you while you scream. Can you retrain them to listen to you without screaming? Yes, you can. Because yelling has its negative consequences on you and even your child. Let's not even go there. So build structures, not chaos. I'll give a typical example. You wake up in the morning and your children are supposed to actually dress up for school. Imagine that they have what to look at as they are dressing up for school. So I have teenagers now. And when they were toddlers, one of the things we did was to create structures for our morning routine. In fact, the mornings were the most peaceful times in my home because everybody woke up with a structure, knowing what it is they need to do next. It was in the mornings we danced in my house. We call it eliminating the fire spots in the academy. Every home has a fire spot. And one of the things you want to do is to eliminate those fire spots and recreate a structure that works in your home. And this is one of the things that we're going to be teaching you at the Becoming an Emotionally Intelligent Parent course that is coming up in the academy soon. So create structures. Number three, use discipline as a tool, as a teaching tool, not as punishment. The moment you recognize the difference between discipline and punishment, it changes the game for you. Discipline imparts the thinking brain. Punishment imparts the emotional brain. It just gets all emotional. Does it work? Yes, momentarily. The child actually does your bidding, and that's why you are going to continue to yell and yell and yell because the child isn't really learning. The child is just being, conditioned. So if you're teaching the child, there are two different conversations. And then when the child learns discipline, the child learns to actually do things differently. When I wrote the book, discipline is not an emergency. One of the things I wrote in that book is you do not apply discipline when disciplinary issues occurs. Discipline is applied even before we get there. So you need to use discipline as a teaching tool. You can, get a copy to actually read through. And the last one, right, which for this series is being consistent, being predictable. I see quite a number of parents who do one thing and then they pride themselves in unpredictability. Unpredictability is an enemy of parenting. The moment your children do not know what comes next, it becomes an unpredictable system and it becomes chaotic. Anything that creates chaos in a system crumbles the system, including the family system. One of the things I'm going to leave you today with is that parenting has laws. Parenting has laws, and if you break them, all right, they actually break you, don't break laws. That's a conversation for another day. But one of the things you must understand is that you need to be consistent on your discipline. If the disciplinary strategy for not doing your chore is that you're going to double the chore, is that you're going to do, you're going to do it till 12 o'clock. All right. You're building the child to learn that life is about cause and effect. Punishment will be that you beat the child, you inflict pain on the child. And then one of the things that happens is that when we do, we actually take away the consequences of their action. So we jump in to help them because we have now used beating, flogging to replace what they need to do as the consequences of their action, which actually builds the real discipline in itself. I'm going to share this last, part that I like to share all the time when I talk to parents. Many times we say, oh, I'm very disciplined. And then you find a child has done something in school, and then you go to school, the child has been expelled. The child has done something clearly, that shouldn't do. Then you go home, beat the child mercilessly because, of course, the child has disgraced you, according to you. And then you go back to school and say, you know what? I have disciplined this child. Please allow this child to be in school. What you have done is not discipline. What you have done is that you have punished the child for what they've done and yet taught the child nothing. And then you have bailed the child from the consequence of the action. You have bailed the child from the word discipline. So until we understand what discipline really means, then this is going to be a very long haul for us. Now, I want to encourage you. Before you just hear these things and just say, oh, I heard one coach, on somewhere saying that we should not just hit our children. We should not just, have tried, it's not working. Please do what is required. One of the things that you're required to do is to work on your emotions. When you do, you'll be able to actually apply the consequences of a child's action without being ruffled in the process or even feeling that, oh, my child is suffering. Because most of us view consequences of action as suffering. Meanwhile, what you actually met on your children as beating, yelling, and screaming is actually the real suffering without being able to learn what they should do. So this is me inviting you to becoming the emotionally intelligent parent course. Becoming the emotionally intelligent parent course will guide you to how you can manage your emotions as a parent. You find out that yelling is actually too much headache. Who wants to have a headache when they can actually parent with peace and calm? We pride ourselves in saying that we teach parents how to parent with peace and calm. I look forward to seeing you at the Becoming an Emotionally Intelligent Parent course. The link is in our bio, and all of the details you can send us a DM to find and learn more. Thank you and have an amazing day.